To make my volcano, I just had a wire mesh model, coat it with paper mache, paint it over.
Technology that makes you feel superhuman?
Where do I sign in?
That's powerful.
As soon as I thought EA was done being stupid, they decide to go on and pull this utter nonsense. But regardless, welcome back true believers and all you merry Marvelites to another very interesting Marvel games related video, where sadly we are diving into some rather upsetting news pertaining to not one, but two upcoming AAA Marvel game titles. Which, just to keep you all up to speed, is that we are yet again going to be talking about the upcoming Iron Man and Black Panther games, which are respectively currently in development by Motive Studios and Cliffhanger Games. And to remind all of you is that even though both of those titles are currently in development by different studios, each of those companies in their entirety are in fact directly owned by Electronic Arts, who are the ones going to be publishing both of these Marvel games. And despite Iron Man and Black Panther still being heavily in development, we did recently receive some news from EA themselves, which is nothing short of being a prime example of complete and utter corporate greed and stupidity. So if you're ready to dive into all this news with me, then definitely be sure to whip that like button and subscribe to the channel for even more Marvel games videos down the line. So if the current state of the gaming industry wasn't already bad enough, things just got even more frustrating with a brand new update coming directly from Electronic Arts. Whereas this article was posted by Game Rant is that EA reportedly is considering implementing in-game ads in AAA titles. Because apparently, making upon billions of dollars wasn't enough for EA, but they've now decided to try and monetize their games even more. And coming from the article itself is that Electronic Arts is considering more heavily implementing advertisements within its AAA titles, according to the studio's CEO during a recent earnings call. With a wide library of games, EA has grown into one of the largest third-party developers in the gaming industry, with everything from Battlefield and Need for Speed to sports games in its repertoire. The studio has helped to publish some of gaming's most popular franchises, like The Sims and Apex Legends among others. Now, EA is reportedly looking at more aggressive ads within its games. EA and its subsidiaries have experimented with in-game ads in the past, often sparking up controversy among fans. An update to The Sims 4 earlier this year featured an aggressive ad push within the game, adding a shop button to the game's user interface that encourages players to buy the newest expansions. EA has also received criticism from fans for its in-game ad practices, featuring heavy advertising in its sports games and even retroactively placing ads in games like UFC 4. Now, a new statement from EA's CEO suggests the company is looking to push in-game ads even more. As reported by The Verge, during a recent earnings call with the company, EA CEO Andrew Wilson spoke on the company's stance regarding in-game advertisements. According to Wilson, the developer is considering quote-unquote more dynamic ad insertions within EA's AAA game releases, revealing that the company is working on a new system. Wilson did state that EA was looking for thoughtful implementations of in-game ads within the studio's new games, suggesting that work on the new ad policy was still early. The CEO did, however, express more excitement at the potential for greater advertisements outside the games. EA's consideration towards ads in its AAA games comes as the studio is reportedly planning a lighter year for 2024 with its releases. 2023 saw a plethora of high-profile games debut from the studio, with EA launching the Dead Space remake and Star Wars Jedi Survivor throughout the year, which, by the way, I have thoroughly played through of both of these games, and each of them are flat out incredible. While EA has stated it will release its annual sports games as usual, some of the developers' heavy hitters, like the previously mentioned Battlefield and The Sims, are set to skip releasing a game in 2024. Fans will have to wait and see what EA's more dynamic ads means for its AAA games. And to answer that inquiry right off the bat is that this is absolutely horrible news in every way, shape, and form. EA as a company has already had a pretty dicey track record in the past, and it's only been within recent years that they have regained my trust by putting out some absolutely stellar games, all of which have been incredibly well crafted and thoroughly immersive AAA single-player experiences with great narrative-driven stories. Especially in the case of the Dead Space remake and the Star Wars Jedi series, each of those games have been amazing, and it gave me even more confidence to see what exactly EA had in store for their upcoming Marvel games with Iron Man and Black Panther. But seeing that they're supposedly going to be falling back into their previous business practices, which the entire gaming fan base is 100% against, is a very disappointing strategy to see EA play out. Now, as for how exactly this brand new plan from EA is directly going to affect the development of Iron Man and Black Panther is still currently unknown as it stands right now, especially considering that both of those games are still very heavily within development, and it's far too early to tell exactly what the current status of both of these games are. So at the very least, I do hope that EA reconsiders this plan going forward and simply decides to let the game speak for itself, without trying to force in any extra advertisements within the game's life structure. But at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to keep our fingers crossed that Motive and Cliffhanger will still be able to deliver some incredibly well-rounded superhero games with both Iron Man and Black Panther, despite the incredibly lackluster interferences coming from EA. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for all you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think about this overall terrible EA news, and how do you think it might impact the development of Iron Man and Black Panther? Let me know what you think. Be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel Games videos like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and until next time, peace out.